Hello everyone, Father Keller here, the new kid on the block, your new parochial vicar here at St. Mary's Cathedral, St. Augustine's, and St. John Cantius. Not too long ago, Deacon Rick over at St. Augustine's had the idea of me making a video telling you my vocation story, that path that the Lord led me on into the seminary and ultimately to the priesthood now. So I thought that was a good idea, so here we are. That's what I'm here to do today, and I hope you're able to sit back and hopefully enjoy this little short story of how the Lord led me to the priesthood. I guess starting from the beginning, growing up, elementary school, I always liked serving Mass, and my dad always reminded me that the priesthood was an option if that's where the Lord wanted me. And so early on, I thought, yeah, sure, that'd be great. I like serving Mass. Why not? I think I'd like to be a priest. And also later on in elementary school, my oldest sister joined a convent, and so religious life was not something foreign to my family. And so it was kind of just a natural thing, like, yeah, why not? I'll be a priest when I grow up. But as middle school and junior high came along, I had that desire wane, and I had a greater desire to be a math teacher. I don't know why. I really liked math in school. But I don't think I was running from the Lord wanting me to be a priest. I just thought, I think that's what he wants me to do, is be a math teacher at the time. And so as the end of high school approached, I was set on going to college to be a math teacher. But also at the same time, I had encountered some crossroads in my life where I had to really rely on the Lord's grace and really trust in him a lot to grow in these challenges that I was facing and to make it through them. And so in those challenges, I really grew in my desire to learn the faith. I really dug in a lot to what does the church teach on X, Y, and Z? What does Christ teach us on X, Y, and Z? I really dug into church history, and I grew a lot in my love for the beauty and truth of the faith, the truth especially in her teachings and her theology, and that's so practical to our daily lives and how we live and how we view God, and really growing in love with that beauty of the church, especially like in her arts, the beautiful history of music in the church and the beauty of the liturgy in the church. And so I had that as a foundation when I went off to college up in Moorhead, actually, at Minnesota State University in Moorhead, to be a math teacher. And when I went there, I studied for only 3 years. I'd never finished my degree, but the second and third year I was living there, I lived in a men's house of discernment, kind of like the Marmion House over at St. Augustine's. And so I had that great environment of other Catholic college men my age wanting to live a good life, live a holy life. And the house wasn't made just for those who were considering the priesthood. In fact, when I moved in there, I had no clue I was going to be entering seminary. I had no intention to go to seminary and no desire to be a priest at the time. But it was made for any Catholic college man open to the will of God for whatever vocation, whether it was marriage or religious life or priesthood. And so I moved there, had that great fraternity, that great bond with them. The name of the house was the Benedict House. This is St. Benedict up here, actually. It was an ordination gift for me from those men I lived with there in Moorhead. And we had a chapel right in our house with the Blessed Sacrament, the priest living right with us who was in charge of the campus ministries there at the university. And one summer I was staying up there to work, and I dedicated 5 minutes a day in our chapel in just complete silence. Some of you may have already heard this part from one of my weekend homilies, I think, since I've been here at your parishes. But those 5 minutes a day of complete silence, not praying the rosary, not reading the Bible or a spiritual book, as great as those are and necessary as they are in our spiritual life. But I hadn't really tried that complete silence of just listening to the Lord, not saying anything and frankly, a lot of times just thinking I was just twiddling my thumbs in there, just waiting for the 5 minutes to be done. But in those 5 minutes a day that summer, I began to grow discontent with the prospects of being a math teacher. As much as I loved math, and it it was it wasn't what I was thinking it was going to be, I guess. And I thought, man, there's just so much more out there. The faith is just so much deeper than math and than anything else. As not to downplay math or teachers out there, they're great. I respect them, but to really dig into God, that's what I really fell in love with at that time. In college, I continued to grow in my faith, knowledge of the faith, and ultimately leading me to that knowledge of God, love of God, who is truth and beauty itself. And so it would have been the summer of 2012 that I first contacted our own Father Scott Pogachnik in his first couple months as vocation director for the diocese, and chatted with him about the possibility of seminary and priesthood. And I told my parents. They were surprised, but they were supportive. Frankly, I was surprised too that I was doing this, and looking back on it, I can really see that the God working in my life at that time, what we call that actual grace, that help from God for a particular circumstance to do the right thing, to give us the strength to move in the direction the Lord wants us. And so it was really an easy decision, so to speak, an easy transition to make that call to Father Scott and ultimately finish, well, I guess not finish, but leave college after 3 years there to go to the seminary in the fall of 2013 to Immaculate Heart of Mary Seminary down in Winona, where I did 3 years of philosophy studies and formation down there in college seminary. After that, the bishop sent me to the St. Paul Seminary in St. Paul for my 4 years of theology studies. And again, through that whole time, those 7 years of seminary, that really love for the truth and beauty of the faith just continued to grow. And yeah, there were ups and downs in seminary. Thought about leaving, but the Lord had other plans for me. The Lord had brought me so far, and he said, no, I've got this handled. You just continue to follow me. So the Lord led me through those years of seminary, ultimately to priestly ordination just this past June, on June 6th. Hopefully you were able to watch the live stream of it, since we couldn't have many people there, understandably. But so yeah, so now I'm here at your parishes. The bishop assigned me here, and it's great to be here in the city of St. Cloud. As much as I'm not a city boy, it's been very nice to be at your parishes, and it's been great to get to know a bunch of you, and I'm sure there are a lot of you out there who I've not met yet. And for all of you, please continue to repeat your names to me. I'm working on it. I'm improving and remembering names. And if you have any questions about whatever, about this, my vocation story, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'm always up for questions and whatnot, and if I can't answer the question, I'll let you know, and I'll try to find the answer to it, whatever it may be. So I hope you enjoyed this, and please pray for me as I begin my priestly ministry here in your parishes and as a new priest, and know of my prayers for all of you, especially at masses at the churches, and also my praying of the breviary, my liturgy of the hours, that prayer of the church that priests promise to pray with and for the people of God. And if there's anyone out there who is considering a vocation to the priesthood, and a young man out there, know that the Lord calls who he wants. As unworthy as we are, the Lord calls us in our unworthiness because he wants to call us. It's his prerogative. And if there's anyone else, any other young people out there, whatever vocation, know that the Lord has a plan for you, and it's up to us to simply follow him, trust him to the best of our ability, and to really rely on his grace. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you all soon. Bye.